Hey everyone, welcome back to the continuation of Matplotlib series. Today I'm going to be talking about stack plots. Stack plots are very useful when you want to talk about changes of a whole over time. I'm going to run you through more details for now. Just remember, if you want to show changes of a whole thing over time, you use stack plots. What do I mean by that? So these are all different examples of stack plots. Ignore whatever is on the legend. Imagine this is January to December records of your income. Probably you have 4 different sources of income, and that shows over that 1 year how your income has changed. Probably this gray area is the income from your rental property, and then the orange one is the income from your daytime job, from your full-time job, so forth. So you want to understand the contribution of different sources to the whole over time. So this is a bit different to pie charts, because with pie charts, you can't show things in one package over time. You can only say, for example, in January, I had 20% income from my rental property, 30% from my full-time job, and 50% from my parents, for example. But can you show that over time? Well, yes, you can. You need to use stack plots. But for now, let's just go ahead, make a new Jupyter Notebook. If you haven't seen my Jupyter Notebook tutorial, click on the top right. Let's rename this Jupyter Notebook. So Matplotlib number 5 stack plots, because I like to keep it clean. I have the link to all my data and the notebooks in GitHub. So if you want to follow me along, go ahead and download the data and feel free to do it with me. All right, like always, we want to import from Matplotlib, import pyplot as PLT. So PLT figure, let's make a canvas, give it a fixed size of 7 and 7. Go ahead and say PLT plot, PLT show. Like always, this gives me a blank canvas that is ready for me to start plotting. But what am I going to be plotting here? So let's make a new cell. Let's talk about data. This is the data that I'm dealing with. Over 12 months of 1 year, from January to December, I have 3 different sources of income. I have a rental property that I'm renting out. I've got a full-time job that pays me $1,000 a month. And I've got some shares that their value keeps going up and down, because that's what the stock market is doing at the moment. I want to understand at every single month how much of my income is from each source of income. To do that, let's make a PLT figure instance of fig size equals 7 and 7. We're going to use PLT stack plot. I'm going to come back to this, and PLT.show. For a stack plot, the first thing you need to enter is what you want on the x-axis. I want the month variable to be on the x-axis, so month. You enter y-axis in order of their appearance. So I want my rental income to appear first, then full-time job, and after that, shares. I'm not going to make anything in terms of making it nice and pretty. I'm just going to run this code for now. Brilliant. This is how it looks. I have January to December on the x-axis, total amount of income on the y-axis. Well, I should label my x-axis. I'll say month of the year, and the y-axis, y total amount of income. And probably I should add a title as well. PLT title of the whole graph, income over a year. Okay, that looks much better now. I would like it to be a bit longer in the horizontal axis. I'll probably change this to 12. This is easier to view. This is pretty nice. So how I would interpret this, well, I can definitely understand that the orange is my full-time job, because it's always $1,000. So if you look at January, I have $1,000 income from blue, which I presume it's the rental. I have another $1,000 income from my full-time job, and I have $5,000 income from my shares. Well, this is not really intuitive. You don't have to try and find the data. However, you should have a legend that says green is your shares, orange is your full-time job, and blue is your rental income. So let's go ahead and do that. let's make a labels variable and say this is rental. Next one is full-time job. And last one is shares. If I do that, let's run this. And I'll say labels equals labels. Oh, I should say PLT legend as well. PLT legend. Let's see where it plots it. Cool. So I can understand that blue is rental, orange is my full-time job, and green is shares. If I wanted the legend to plot in the middle, I can go ahead and say lock equals 9. You can go look at the documentation of plt.legend, and that puts it in the white area, so I'm not really masking any data here. What are other things that I can do to make this plot look really nice? Well, I can add a PLT grid to it to make reading the data a bit easier, but I don't like it to be very strong. I want it like 0.6% transparent. This looks better. I'll probably change the total font size, income over a year. I want to change the colors to my own taste. So I'll make a new list of, say, gray from my rental income, green from my full-time job, and blue from my shares. I need to say colors equals colors. If I run that, now the colors have changed. That's a bit not really happy color. Let's change gray to orange. This is much better. There's a different type of stack plots that you can see here to the top right, which is 100% stacked area. So they're not only stack plots, but also they are area charts. That's what we call them. What it means that the whole amount of something does not change over time. However, different contribution to that might change. For example, I am allowed to have 10 pets in my house, as an example. I don't know where in the world you would be allowed to do that, but let's just imagine I am allowed to have 10 pets. Over 10 years, I might change different types of pets that I have, but I am not allowed to go above 10 and I am not allowed to go below 10. Let's just imagine this is the type of house that I'm living in. So first year I might have 5 dogs and 5 cats. Second year I might have 5 dogs, 3 cats and 2 birds, and the number of total 10 does not change. Third year I have 10 birds, no dogs, no cats, I have 10 birds, and so forth. The other example would be, imagine you're working for a company. You are working on a project and you are allowed to spend 8 hours a day on that project. So for now, it's only you working on this project. 8 hours a day, your job. Starting next month, your colleague will be contributing to the same project. 4 hours for you and 4 hours for James. It might change over time. And for example, you might be doing 3 hours you, 5 hours for James, 2 hours for you, 6 hours for James, and so forth. The total amount, the total value should not change, and that's what we're talking about here. I'm gonna go ahead and bring in the data. We have a project over January to December. We are allowed to spend 8 hours a month on that project. So the project is shared between Amir, James, and Callum, and altogether we're not allowed to spend more than 8 hours per month. So you can see that at first, Amir was spending a lot of time on this project, but as time goes towards December, his share of hours is kind of phasing out. James has kind of a variable presence in this project, but Callum's presence is going higher and higher towards December. The labels will be Amir. I need to change this one to James. Callum, I'm happy with the colors. I'm just gonna keep them. And for now, I'll keep the month. I'm not talking about rental anymore. I'm talking about Amir, Callum, and the labels will be okay, colors will be okay, and let's run this. Okay, so you can see that from January to the left, all the way to December, Amir's share in orange is going down. First, it was only him working on that project, but as time goes by, his share gets less and less. And Callum's share in blue is very variable, but towards the end of the year, he is doing most of the project. This is an area chart that shows you over time who was contributing to this project more. So you can make this example for many different kinds of stories. So this is not income over a year now, project, and month of the year, and total amount of income, total share. We're at the end of the tutorial for stack plots. If you like my videos, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos. Thank you, and I appreciate that.